Hello and welcome to round 3 coverage from the 2024 Waco Annual Charity Open. We are back at Brazos East Park on the famed Beast course, and you're watching the Disc Golf Pro Tour on JomezPro with Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
And the Beast does what the Beast does. I mean, once again, for the 8th straight year, the wind direction has switched between rounds out here 180 degrees. I don't know how it happens every year, but it's done it again. So hole 1 will be with a tailwind and hole 18 will be with a tailwind, but there will be a few holes as we finish the round that will be going into the headwind. Kyle Klein has been putting up incredible numbers for the last 2 seasons. The way that his game is developing, I feel like he is just going to be a star to watch. Luke Humphries has had some great success here. Was it 2 seasons ago that he was runner-up?
Yes.
So he has played well here before, going into the 3rd round.
Texas, yeah, he's a Texas boy too.
That's right. Niklas, well, Arkansas, but he's got that Texas style. Was he also in Austin? Anyways.
I think he lived in Dallas for a little bit.
Okay. Niklas Anttila, only 1 bogey yesterday, able to shoot a 5 under to maintain his spot on lead card. And we've got the ever bright and colorful Joel Freeman here with the loud pants and the great play, forehand, backhand, great putter.
And if we get any more slow-mos of Joel, that hair snapback is magic. It flops over the top with the power and then swing right back and right in place. It's incredible. Can we agree, though, and make it clear to the fans that this wind condition is far preferable to the far easier?
Well, you know what? The stats are going to prove different.
Really?
Yeah. For hole 1, it's surprisingly harder to birdie with a tailwind. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's because of the straight tailwind. It makes everybody go down this middle spot.
And you're going with a ratty boy right here, I believe.
Yeah, that's a rat.
And that is a bullseye.
Anybody on your card go over with the hyzer?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody get it with the hyzer?
Yes.
Here we go.
Yeah, so 2.58 average this round, 2.46 round, or 2.46 average first round.
Oh, no.
Kyle Klein, early mishap, out of bounds.
And where's the cross?
I think somewhere in circle 2, maybe a little shorter.
Okay.
It's my guess.
But overall for the course, this wind condition.
Oh, yes.
Preferable.
Correct. I was just kind of going off specifically hole 1, but yeah, I think you're right.
I know I am. I mean, because the 3 real headwind holes are some of the 3 of the easiest holes on the whole property.
You never want to play 17 and 18 going into a headwind.
Great shot from Luke.
Yeah, if you got the 2-piece down the middle with the with an overstable putter, that's the ticket, I think.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the correction. Looks like Niklas is going with the 4-piece over the top.
4-banger high.
He is going with looks like a very overstable driver, and I like this one better than Kyle's. And that's why. Barely better.
Yeah.
Barely better.
Yeah.
I think they're thinking it's going to swing more because of the heavy right to left, but for some reason those are getting up there and it's not affecting it in the way that they think.
Yeah, this snapback. I was paying close attention right there.
Oh, my
Nate.
goodness. Look at that, love.
Didn't
that look worse than Kyle's almost?
It did.
Gets the swing, though.
So it's a retee.
What? Really?
And it's a very nice retee.
Wow. I thought that wider than I initially thought. Result probably the same.
Oh.
Huh.
And I do know that Joel was working on a different stroke in the off season. I've heard him be pretty vocal about it.
What did he want to change? Do you know?
I thought it was
I don't exactly know. I just heard him talking about it.
Okay.
On his Instagram.
Luke with a good starting birdie. He gets a little hop and skip up the hill.
But, I mean, he's a great putter, Joel.
Yes.
Beforehand, so you know how we do.
For sure. It's always in the lap. You got to be thinking about something. Anything to get one more shot.
One thing I've been very impressed with is Luke's putt. I mean, what I really love about it is the 25-footer looks exactly like the 45-footer with a little hop. And if you can keep those two things consistent, you can get on fire and around and make stuff from everywhere. So let's keep an eye on that. Hole 2, par 4, 631 straight tailwind. Split these two trees on hyzer. Wherever it lands, you're going to be able to manufacture something coming in. You really see people make the mistake of going early right and having to deal with all those trees on the left. Trick your shot into here. Ground play is really important. Leave yourself short. You don't want a headwind putt.
We're going to go up to hole 3 with Greg Barsby.
Beautiful. Great width.
That is
Little nose up, coming
like
in slow.
nothing else they could do besides be parked. Greg shot 12 under on this course in round 1. Only 3 under in round 2 at the golf course. And here's Nate going with the Sidewinder. And that's high going through the gap, hitting some foliage. And just way past that tree. If anything near that tree is essentially perfect.
What is that, 80 feet? Oh, jeez.
Maybe a little more than 80, but a lot less than I usually have into this basket.
And
Give it a little height, dude.
Not going to see easier birdie than that.
No, that's fantastic.
A little preview of what's to come. I mean, if there was a perfect shot for the hole, it is a understable fairway driver turnover forehand.
And there's that early spot. This is going to skip up there on the left-hand side. He's going to have something, but it is
Yeah.
over there on the left side.
It's
Way trickier.
Low ceiling and small gaps over there.
You see a lot of people in the past have hit that big tree on the right and kick over out of bounds. That's the only real mistake you can make on this hole.
And that's through the gap that you're talking about, Paul, right down the middle in the bowl. That should set up about 250 to the pin. And with the big tailwind, some drives can get inside 100 if you really flip it up flat and put some power behind it. I was playing with Eric Oakley one year on this hole with the same type of tailwind, and he got to 100 feet and made the jump putt. So it is eagleable.
Wow.
Whoa. This is, I don't think there's ever been ever is a stretch, but this is an important hole for Kyle to get. Erase that bogey on the first, still behind a little bit in the tournament for the field, but he really needs to get this one to get back on track.
Good width here. A really nice shot.
There you go.
There it is.
Yep. Par, you're still mad. But then if you can get 3, 1 through 3, not so bad. Yeah, and here's that tight gap that he's going to have to hit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Pretty well done.
Needs to hurry. Not exactly what you're looking for. But, I mean, it's 25 feet. Joel likes it. He got a lot of distance off of that. Beautiful. Not an easy putt. Right to left win. Hyzer putt. Could lift, could drop.
Good birdie to pick up from a early left drive for Luke.
Ooh.
Tapping in with the mid. Chris Dickerson out to a hot start, 11 through 15.
Wow. Hole 3, par 3, 320. We just saw Greg Barsby here. That backhand play he took is a very popular one. There's also some forehand gaps on the left side. Can be kind of a fast green, so nose angle, speed control, all pretty important here.
I actually didn't even know that we were still donating money to Edge. Good star frame. More money for a good cause. Gannon Burr on 5, straight as an arrow. A little counter skip there at the end, probably.
Little long, but a beautiful shot.
Circle's edge. It's that tricky right to left wind.
Let me guess he makes it.
Full step putt.
Average putt length for Gannon Burr, 19.5 feet.
That's really a far
That's
distance.
up there.
Yeah.
Considering that's counting these putts from this distance right here.
Sure,
yeah.
sure.
Great drive for Luke. The perfect start continues. He's going to be 3 under through 3. Niklas just really, I love his shoulder control. Like he really controls that part of his body so well that it really allows him to throw great hyzer flips and force over turnovers.
Yeah, very good at holding whatever angle he intends all through the follow through.
Going flex to the tight
Whoa.
line for Joel. I love this.
Very good. Yeah, Niklas is going to be outside the circle, though. That's not exactly what you're wanting. I was thinking with Gannon, as Kyle lines this one up, and if he gets past that one, should be fine. Should be really good. Oh, it's great. Fantastic. If Gannon improves his driving and he gets closer, his scores will not improve. Which is
So what incentive does he have? You know, what incentive does he have?
Oh, yeah. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of
Ricky Wysocki.
Ricky Wysocki.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he parked every hole and he shot 9 under. He made 95.
Yeah, he
Average
hit
of
every
90
tree
yeah.
and he shot 8 under.
To the newer disc golf fan, Ricky Wysocki's control has come leaps and bounds from where it
Yes.
started off. And he used to be kind of known as being a wild man, and it didn't really matter because it usually a shank would be followed up by what he called a dot void. The dot was the sound where he would put his tongue out and go, that. And then he would say void because your good drive birdie was voided by his long putt.
Yes.
And now he just voids everything out by birdieing the traditional way.
Yes.
Really smooth operator right there from Luke Humphries. 21, he is currently in first place now.
The team you support from the stands now finds a place in your heart. Seasons change, the game remains. Prodigy Disc and the NHL, where disc golf and hockey live.
Hole 4, par 4, 441 feet, tight gap to start, and this subtle break to the left. You'd like to just get to about here with your drive
That'd be
to
great.
set yourself up to go and attack this green that works back to the right. Remember, of course, there is that slope down to the water, so if you come in a little too hot, it can get ugly quick.
It's also a nice time to get away from the wind for a while. Well, we're going to, before we get to 4, we're going to go to hole 6. Little blind hyzer down the hill. Almost hitting the cage again. You hit the cage last year, correct?
Hit chains last year, yeah.
Oh, chains. That's even better. I could get used to these Nate Sexton check-ins, man.
Me too, actually.
It'd be better if you're just seeing the whole round, though.
I'm over it. Oh, only kidding as Luke.
Luke,
Just
another
a smoothie.
Fillet job.
Watch this ground
Yep.
play. Perfect.
And that's going to be a standstill forehand approach from there, I'd imagine.
You really just want to miss that one. If you miss that one, should be good.
This is really nice.
You don't see a lot of players start off that right side because they're concerned about that one tree. Most of the good shots you see are kind of like flipping up and challenging that inside. That is just ideal, though. For the backhand, you're not really asking for much more than that. You can get saucy with the forehand, as we saw earlier with you and your sidewinder.
Yeah, there's no way to be aggressive with the backhand.
Those are 4 quality drives. Joel might not have the best angle.
I would pay $100 to be where he is.
Yeah, no, they're all in a good spot. I agree.
Oh, no.
That's the one, though. That one tree, even with great drives, that tree is still pesky.
You can see why this one's a little tricky because you have to bring hyzer angle, and that means you have to challenge that slope unless your speed control is perfect. Joel does very well there, but you can see how if that has a little bit more energy behind it, you start to skip and maybe roll down into the river.
Even Luke's drive, he's got to throw, kind of challenging that inside, gets through. It will be semi-obstructed, but very makeable.
Now, does this come out hyzer or a little Annie? Hyzer. So you're right. This is going to...
Oh,
it's going to hit the tree
speed
trunk.
control works when you hit the base of trees.
A few years ago, this is a layup. Now, every single person in the top 5 cards is running that putt, except for Nate Sexton, probably. But his is for eagle, so there's a big difference.
Luke, let's go. 4 for 4 now.
Great start.
And that's why you run it.
Yeah.
I would say that roughly half of the putts that I've ever laid up in my career have been accidents. And I've been attempting to run them, but
Just not convincing enough to like make me believe you.
I know. That's the thing. That's why I have to come out here and just say it straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's often unintentional.
I have the opposite problem. I try to lay it up, and then it comes out zinging, and
Just goes in.
no. In the lake, in the Brazos River.
Cole Radallen holding that fire emoji at the moment. Hole 5, par 3, 264, going dead straight uphill. Just throw whatever you like to throw for a straight shot. The only real wrinkle is that you have this hill so that you could come in even with a driver if you want to, with a forehand driver, and you can count on sort of a straight skip up this hill if you do hit on that ridge.
You guys going Sexton Firebird on there?
I am, yeah.
I'm actually going with the Paul Ulibarri 11-time Eagle.
Nice. Oh, I like this. If it hurries.
Now,
Yes.
Now brakes. Because you get around there a little bit more, and then all of a sudden you got a 25-footer that's heavily obstructed.
Very good.
Yeah, watch this thing. If it doesn't hit the tree, then it bounces right.
Perfect.
So funny.
Every time.
How many times have we seen them go directly at the tree and then whoop, 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 whoop,
Yeah,
right around them?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yeah. That one actually does collide with the tree a little bit. But still, on top of the hill, you're only looking at 25 feet of tops.
Not turning.
Not his best.
Oh, and caught the tree. He's been known of making some good bids from this distance, though. Not too bad. Get in there. Good touch. Finds the side pocket. Joel getting out of the way, and then Luke's going to be coming right at us for 5 in a row. And a tricky little one. This is where these start to get a little lengthier. But not for him.
Smooth.
Nice.
You could see the tilt of the head.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't on the stripe.
Yeah.
Neither was that one, but they count.
Joel off to a nice little stretch as well. He parred the first one, and now he's birdied the last 4.
Well, we're in an era where back in the day, 5 in a row was running away from the field. Now you're just getting like maybe 1.
Yeah, maybe.
Certainly on this course, when there's medium to low wind or tailwind, one of the places where birdies really start to stack up.
You're currently in second place, I believe, in a tie, trailing behind Luke Humphries currently.
Yeah, hole 6, par 3, 267. We saw how you play it. Sexton gave us a good idea of what this fairway looks like. You might be seeing a little turnover from somebody in here, but likely all sidearms coming down the hill and skipping up into this little green area. You can skip deep and then it becomes a bit tricky back there. Let's see how Mason plays hole 8 though. Skip ahead for a second. He plays it like a perfect player would play it.
Like just never even close to a tree.
You could have Mason Ford's form or Niklas Anttila's form for the rest of your career. Who you taking?
Man, I mean, I don't think you
Coin
can't
flip.
really lose.
Yeah.
This is inside.
And the birdie streak is going to take a long putt to continue now for Luke. I'll throw Brad Williams in there as well. Again, you can't lose.
No. Oh, another one inside. Another one inside.
Someone can figure this one out maybe.
But that was also missed inside.
Yeah,
I mean,
very, very inside. I'm saying maybe Kyle can figure it out. But
Yeah.
Niklas got lucky and penetrated all the way down there to the green.
I'm taking Niklas. That was the test.
That was a pass.
There's the fairway.
Yeah.
Perfect shot from Klein. To stay perfect.
Good effort. Could you imagine Mason's smooth form and how compact it is on my frame? It just wouldn't work.
I think it would.
Yeah, I think it.
Joel right side just needed a hyzer a moment sooner.
There's just something about Niklas's form that I just love.
Yep.
Like, it's just, gets the job done just like Mason. You can't go wrong, but the way he rotates is...
He rocks the disc to sleep and it has no choice but to do what he intended it.
That's a good way to put it. He definitely rocks it to sleep. Like he's rocking a little
He's
baby.
just going, shh.
It's going to be okay.
Late flip turnover. Shh.
That is so true.
But whatever, that isn't finish. Good birdie for Kyle, and Niklas
Gets away with it.
gets away with it.
But he had to earn it with a good putt right
That's
here.
Now Niklas 5 under, tying Luke's start.
On to hole 7, par 4, 462. Early mandatory on that left side. This one is either a backhand position play to set up birdie or potentially a really aggressive forehand can get you that eagle look. We saw it from Emerson Keith, I believe, in round 1. Generally, there's a couple of players per day that maybe are at least going to get down into that bowl, maybe a couple connect on the putt. Really a fun hole because of that possibility.
Scoot up to hole 9 with Gannon's tee shot. He's rattled off 7 of the starting 8 holes.
2 little kicks wouldn't hurt him too much here.
Whoa, and now he's in good position.
Oh, and I like this.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, wow.
That gap he had to hit was staggered in a very awkward way. He kept his form really tight to his hip, allowed the disc to have the most space between the 2 trees, gets a good skip, and then you know what he does on the green. 8 down, front 9 gain and burr. Great stuff.
They don't make him much better than that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That's like a long-range jump putt. I don't even think he has to really throw from there. That's testing that right side.
It's okay, though.
Yeah, he's still shopping for birdies. He's just in the back of the line.
Little surprised with this play. Think that Luke definitely has the ability to get the sidearm all the way down there. Fits his shot shape, but when you can do that and make it a pretty easy approach, especially with where he's at in the tournament, I think that's a great decision.
It's pretty high for this gap, but that's the way to get all the way down there. Joel's good move, but he finds just the worst rough on the hole as far as you think you've thrown a great shot. You get up there and you actually have to scramble from 60 feet.
Look at this play. This is great. Scary putt.
Yeah, edge of the circle, back downhill into the headwind.
Yeah.
That's a really scary putt.
That's perfect.
Yeah, you were right. Little jump putt.
Niklas has a lot of power in his jump putt. He can extend the range up to 120 feet relatively easily.
Very good. Birdie. Can't wait to watch this putt. One thing about Kyle's putt that I love is it's a push putt. A lot of times in the windy situations, those are kind of sketchy. I have full confidence in his when it's kind of a headwind or a crosswind or left, right to left to right. For some reason, his likes to penetrate through the wind. I haven't quite figured it out.
I believe it. I just believe it.
Yeah, he's just a fantastic putter.
Quick shout out, Evan Smith, Gavin Babcock, and Nathan Queen picking up the Eagles.
Nice.
And I don't know if I ever gave a shout out to Emerson Keith. Well, Emerson Keith was on our card. Round 1 with the Eagle.
Yep.
And Raven Newsom also got it. So 5 Eagles this year in total on hole 7.
On to hole 8, par 3, 213 feet. Just a tight little hallway all the way down, and then a pretty severe slope on the green down to the right. So if you don't control your forehand speed, you can find yourself outside the circle down there with some obstructions in your way. This is in a little danger.
Yeah, a lot of these ones end up all the way down the hill, nearly on hole 9's fairway.
Are you guys surprised that he goes sidearm there instead of the nice little smoothie backhand?
I am a little surprised, to be honest. His backhand putter game on that shape is very accurate. But he's really good with those tactics. As is Kyle. If that is indeed a tactic, I'm not quite sure. I think it is, though.
Even if it's not, he could still be really good with them. I mean, you haven't made any error.
Very common error, just barely left, catching something. If that was a branch or a vine, but pulls it up short.
This little zoomy.
Yeah, that hard pan by the green. You'd like to hit that one about 30 feet to 35 feet short and then just slide the rest of the way.
All right, Luke. Oh, Scotty cat.
Don't blame him. This is where you end up down here.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Oh. That was not in our initial zoom in frame. Thought he had a clear window to go for it. Joel having to kind of make a trick putt up here on the green. And that could roll, but doesn't. Saves the par.
Good little birdie there.
Important one for Kyle there with kind of a slow start, getting things together, heading into the final hole in the front nine. Trying to gain some momentum going into the last half of the round. No. Okay.
I could just see bad things happening.
I wouldn't even try it.
Trying that.
I wouldn't even try it.
That's funny. All right. Hole 9 is, I think you called it a bruiser yesterday. Jerm, that's because it is par 4, 519. Not much for distance, but if you miss this tree and you're low with a perfect angle, then you got to test these trees. And if you miss those with a perfect angle, you'll go deep and not have a shot.
Yeah, totally.
You're really just trying to throw your best shot down to that bowl. Whatever that is, sidearm, backhand, mid-range fairway, fast driver, anything that hits that gap, you're going to be super pumped with. And then a tricky shot coming into the green.
We're going to jump up to hole 11 here with the chase card check-in for Gannon. After the 8 down front, he did manage to take a par on 10. This one's early release there. That's not the gap he was going for, but gets the forward roll. Let me guess. He makes the putt.
I almost feel like putt is not the right word. It's more, to me, it's like a zap. Like, you know, like putt implies like loft to me, and like some sort of like break and move, you know, and it's a touchy thing. What he does is not touchy. He just puts it on a little, it's like a laser pointer.
Oh, Kyle trying to get the late drifting turn through the left side, which I think is the lucky side. I don't know if that's what he's intending to do, but if it is, he was very close to hitting his line.
So that's the lucky side as well. There's something from there. You can throw a very overstable disc that kind of skips up to about 40 feet. Oh.
Get a little bit of fight back in the end, and it's fantastic. Catching those last couple of Guardians.
You take it, though.
Yeah, pretty
Down the
easy
middle.
par,
Yeah.
but I would think par at best. This is pretty speedy.
That's not hitting the Guardians.
I might go to the backside.
And that's going to be a par. My guess is that's a par now.
I mean, I kind of described that as...
Yep.
something.
Such a good-looking shot. Nets you very little.
He has stuff from over there, though. He's going to have, I think, a stretch out something because of his skills with the sidearm scramble.
I will be surprised if he's able to get inside the circle. I mean, yeah, I think he can fight his way up to C2 somehow, but he's not going to have a clean line. Now, the pin is off to the right side a little bit, so he does get a little bit of leniency off to the left side of his disc. Just barely. Proves the angle for the sidearm skip shot around the corner.
That's pretty good.
That's really good. And the fact that it didn't like shoot back to the right side means that he might have a long look at the putt.
Yes. Slow down.
When you're right there, you want to punch it through there, and that's what happens. You go a little bit deep, but you'll like that.
Yeah. Forehand rollers. I mean, this is like the only thing you've got from back here.
He's good at this stuff. Not that good, though. You are 100% right, Jerm.
It's just, I hate that isn't more rewarding. That drive is so good, and then you're left with very little. But that's the way the hole is designed, and you know it off the tee. You've got to have a certain amount of touch going down that hill.
Early. Gets through, though. And this is an annoying little upshot. I mean, it's like 52 feet.
Always weird throwing over your right leg when you're straddled out to the left.
And it's like you're guaranteed that at least 20, because you got to punch it a little bit to make sure to hit the gap. Yeah, this is fantastic.
Wow, a birdie look. Oh, that would have been such a cool birdie to get. You know, with the backhand, you've got the patent pending where you can turn yourself backwards. You don't get anything like that with the forehand. It's just awkward lies. Stripes it.
He's putting so well at Circle's Edge right now. This season, like, we've got to see a lot of them here in the booth, and he is just
already,
on the stripe.
Four is never a bad score to walk away with on 9. But it does hurt a little bit when your drive looks so pure from the tee pad. Gets full flight all the way down there. You're just hoping that you've got something.
There were 3 threes on the chase card. I was the lone par. They really figured this hole out.
In the end, 17 birdies on a hole that this score would have been an eagle in the past. I mean, just a few branches and a few things cleared up that have changed since the time when it was a par 5. But like we said before, it's never really truly been a par 5.
Yeah, looking like Nate Sexton's kind of marching towards that first place.
Sort of hanging around. But look at that. Uli and Koling. 11 and 10, the boys may be back.
We need somebody to go down and search through the throes of time. We need to figure out when was the last time the 3 of us were all in the top 10 besides hole 1.
This late in the tournament. Yeah.
What I like seeing on that scoreboard is a lot of 9s, 8s, 6s, 7s, all the way down to the very end. I mean, scoring was pretty dang easy out there considering how high the winds were. I was very surprised on that front 9. Let's see if they can keep that scorcher of a day going. We'll be back in a little bit for the back 9 of the 3rd round.